Hi, welcome to the follow-up, the Daily's weekly rundown of this week's news. Joining me today are campus editor Joseph Diebold, editor-in-chief Michelle Corriston, and city editor Patrick Zitek. So, what's happened this week, guys?
So I'd say the biggest thing going on campus this week was sort of all of last weekend. Obviously, a big weekend for the athletic department coming together. You had homecoming, you had Mike and Mike broadcasting Friday morning, College Game Day making its first visit to Evanston in 18 years, and really other than the football game, which I don't think went obviously the way that Northwestern fans hoped, it was really a pretty good advertisement for what Northwestern sports has been doing the past few years. Obviously trying to market to the Chicago area, bring in some more fans who aren't necessarily alumni, don't have a connection to the university, but are looking for big-time college football for their Saturdays.
Yeah, of course. We'll just back up just one step in relation to College Game Day. Obviously, police, university officials put out quite a few warnings about off-campus partying, excessive noise, and we spoke with them after the weekend, and they were generally pleased with how everything went. They felt that they put out enough advance notice for residents, for students living off campus. They only had 3 arrests. One of them was a disorderly conduct arrest just outside the stadium. A student who they say kept trying to come in and was kicked out. But then the 2 other arrests were related to this theft, and that arrest involved 2 students who police say stole several pieces of game equipment from Ryan Field during the game. And according to the athletic department, the main reason they were able to get away with stealing, I think, maybe it was about 6 or 7 pieces of game equipment, was because they took 2 event staff jackets from the event staff coat room in Welsh Ryan Arena, and from there, that obviously unlocked a lot of doors for them, according to police.
It's really interesting. Let's move past game day, see what's going on this week. Patrick, what's going on in the city?
Sure, of course. So one story that we've been covering throughout the week is obviously gun violence in the city. On Tuesday evening, the police were responding to a report of shots fired down near the Chicago border, and they found a man who said he had been shot at. He was not hit, he was unhurt. But then also 2 days later, in what police are calling an unrelated incident, very similar situation closer to ETHS, about a half-mile west of campus. Another man told police he was shot at. He wasn't hit. He told them that a man shot at him from a car that was driving by him in the 1900 block of Dodge Avenue, so about a block north of Evanston Township High School. And at least the incident down near the Chicago border is playing out on this background of a gang conflict that police say is heating up in the Howard Street area. It's mainly concentrated around the Howard Street CTA station, which I think we're all familiar with. And so while they cannot specifically tie that incident on Tuesday evening to that gang conflict, they are saying that their Evanston and Chicago cops are keeping a closer eye on that area.
Michelle, what are your thoughts on?
Well, thank God no one was hurt in those incidents, but it is a little scary. Even if it's not happening on Northwestern's campus, that is an issue that affects our city. I mean, last year, 3 young men died within 3 months of each other from alleged gang activity, gunshot wounds. Probably most notoriously DJ Coleman, who was just a young boy at ETHS, and it was a case of mistaken identity. And his mother has been really big in trying to make fighting gun violence a big issue in Evanston. She has
as well as Carolyn Murray,
and
Justin
Caroline
Murray's
Murray,
mother.
yes, and they both have organized these movements to try to raise awareness. But I think it's something that a lot of Northwestern students don't realize is happening within our community outside of, the arch, outside of Northwestern's limits.
Very, stuff that's very hard to read. Let's move back into campus. Joseph, what do you have for us for this week?
Yeah, so another big story this week, the university administration announced an updated policy for hazing at the end of last week, actually. So we reported on that this week. Nothing too groundbreaking. The policy got a little more specific in terms of what is and is not allowed, what's considered hazing under Illinois law, and also redirecting students who have hazing complaints to the new website that the university is trying to set up for things like that. It's hard to say because a lot of hazing obviously is very, very private. So we don't know a lot about what's going on. But it's clear that this wasn't nothing because you don't change a policy if it doesn't need to be changed. The president of ASG, Ani Ajith, had sort of a cagey quote about, he said, "I don't want to say there hasn't been any incidents." So it does sound like there was something that's happened to sort of provide the impetus for this change. And I think it'll be interesting to see whether hazing, which is not, I think, something that a lot of students talk about, becomes sort of one of those big issues that's really a part of these campus conversations.
Yeah, what
Right.
speaks volumes, I think, is the fact that every Greek leader that our reporter tried to talk to would not say anything. They didn't issue a sort of blank statement saying, of course, Northwestern does not condone hazing. We always want to be in accordance with Illinois law. They said nothing. But we know from Dean of Students Todd Adams that the Office of Fraternity and Sorority Life and NU Athletics were involved in the shaping of this policy. So something's a little fishy there. And hopefully we learn more about what's been going on. Obviously, we don't know if there was hazing. We don't know if it was Greek. We don't know if it was student groups or athletics, but you don't just change a policy for no reason. So the Daily will continue to ask questions about that.
Joseph, you mentioned that you spoke with Ani, the ASG president, about this. Is this an issue that they're going to take up at ASG, or is this something that right now is kind of, they revised the policy, they blasted out the email about it? Is this the end of the issue, do you think?
I don't think so. I don't know what ASG's role necessarily will be, and I'm not sure they know. Obviously, they just started their Senate, or their first Senate meeting was a couple days ago. So they're still sort of, I'm sure, setting the agenda for the year to come. But I don't think this is certainly a settled issue. Obviously, if there's an area for ASG to weigh in, I'm sure they'll do so.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for your thoughts. Be sure to join in the conversation as well on our website, dailynorthwestern.com. And thank you for watching.